Are you too old to start college? As a non-traditional student, this was a question that I had to answer for myself. And today I want to talk a little bit about how I came to my decision. My name's Hannah, I'm 28 years old, and I'm a junior at UC Berkeley. So clearly I decided a couple years ago that I wasn't too old to start college. Right now, if all goes according to plan, I'm set to graduate when I'm 30. I remember when I decided not to go to college right out of high school, I said that eventually, someday, far in the future, I'd want to get my bachelor's degree by the time I was 30. And that felt super far away at the time, but funnily enough, that's working out to be exactly how it's happening. So if you're a high school senior and you feel like heading off to college next year is the right step for you, I think that's amazing, right on. But also I really want to stress that if going to college right after high school doesn't feel like the right step for you, that's okay too. And it doesn't mean that you're never going to go to college or that you're never going to go to your dream school. Personally, I think there's a lot of benefits to going to school a little bit older, and I know that going to school in a non-traditional way can feel a little bit scary or intimidating. So today I just want to talk about some of those fears and why I think that you should overcome them. Have there been awkward moments here and there, or have I felt out of place at times? Yeah, of course. But one, I'm pretty sure I would have had awkward moments in my life whether or not I went back to school, so at least I'm getting a degree. And two, I'm just so happy that I didn't let my fears hold me back from doing something that I really wanted to do, because going back to school in my mid-20s has been one of the best decisions I've ever made. So here are my top 6 reasons why I love being a non-traditional student. Reason number 1, you know yourself so much better. I had no idea what I wanted to do when I was 18 years old, and the major that I would have chosen back then is definitely not what I'm choosing to major in now. I saved myself so much time and money by waiting to do school until I was a little bit older and I knew what my options really were and what direction I wanted to head in. In the time between high school and now, I had so many different jobs and experiences that helped me to understand better what I like and what I don't like, and that really helped guide me towards an education that's useful and meaningful for me. And I didn't have to spend a bunch of money trying to figure that out. Actually, I was getting paid to figure that out because I was doing a bunch of different jobs that was helping me figure out who I was. Reason number 2, you will appreciate and get so much more out of your classes. After years of paying bills and full-time jobs and just adulting in general, going to a lecture or doing the reading for a class often felt like a vacation. School became more like a fun game for me, and I really enjoyed my classes instead of just seeing them as something that I needed to get through. I had real life experience to draw from when it came to engaging in discussions and essays, so that made my classes a lot more interesting for me, and it made it easier to do well in them. Reason number 3, it's just easier to do college as a grown-up. In the years since high school ended, I had a bunch of different jobs that taught me things like time management and how to prioritize and just how to organize my life. I saw some of my younger classmates were experiencing being on their own for the first time, and they were struggling to learn things like how to schedule themselves to make sure they got things done on time. And they were just in the process of learning something that I had already figured out. Plus, while I had more than my fair share of late nights out in my early 20s, by the time I started college, I was really in a place where I was happy to take school more seriously. And by being in a place that I wanted to prioritize school, it made the whole endeavor less stressful, more pleasant, and just a more manageable experience for me. Reason number 4, you deserve to try new things no matter your age. Whether you're 26, 46, or 86, I really think you're only limiting yourself if you decide that you're not going to try something because you're worried that you're too old to start. And I don't think this applies just to school. Like, I went through the exact same thought process when I was thinking about starting a YouTube channel. I thought, am I too old to do that? Are people going to think that I'm silly? And it's totally possible that people think I'm too old to do this or that I'm silly, but I'm not going to let those fears of someone maybe thinking something stop me from doing what I want to do. Life is too short. Why deny yourself the pleasure of trying something new just because some people do it at a different age than you're doing it? The years are going to pass either way, so you might as well be trying new things, becoming the best version of yourself, and just making the most of your time on this planet because it's really limited. Reason number 5, nobody really cares. Most people are way too worried about themselves to even be thinking about what you're doing, so do what makes you happy. We're all on our own paths, and they aren't meant to look the same, so it's okay if yours looks different. Not one person in any of my classes at my community college or at Berkeley has said or even implied anything vaguely negative about me being a few years older than them. At my community college, there were plenty of older students, so I do think that made my transition back into college a little bit easier because I never really felt out of place. There were a lot of people about my age. At Berkeley, the percentage of students that's non-traditional is definitely smaller, but everyone's been super kind and super welcoming. So I've kind of just realized that the only person that's been worried about me being older was me, and it was mostly just in my head. I just realized that my age was a way bigger deal to me than it was to anybody else, and so if I just kind of accepted it and made peace with it, then nobody cared. And also at Berkeley, I think it's just because it's so challenging, it's such a rigorous environment that everybody's so focused on studying and working towards their goals that nobody has time to worry about like, oh, that girl's 28. Like, no one cares. It's fine. It's really, seriously, nobody cares. It's in your head. Reason number 6, starting something new does not mean that you're starting over. Whether you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever, I think it would be a real bummer to not let yourself try something purely because you're worried like, oh, that's starting over, I don't want to start over. Starting school was starting a new chapter for me, but I still have all the other chapters that I've already done. My degree is in addition to that work, and it doesn't wipe out all the previous life and work experience that I have. So even if the degree that you're considering is in an entirely different field than the work that you've been doing, the work that you've been doing is still valuable towards your future. For example, all the jobs that I've done in hospitality have taught me things like customer service and teamwork and how to multitask and organization. And those are valuable skills that just make me a more well-rounded candidate for anything that I want to do. So a little exercise that I do sometimes when I'm trying to make a tough decision is I try to take myself out of it, because we tend to judge ourselves the harshest, and instead I imagine the situation is happening to someone that I really care about. If a friend came to me and said something like, I know that I am X years old, but I'm really considering getting a degree and I'm just not happy with the job that I have, or it doesn't pay enough, or I don't love it. So what do you think I should do? I think I should just stay in this job that I don't love for the next, 40, 50 years, or maybe go back to school. If someone I love came to me and said that, I would tell them that they're absolutely not too old to start college and that they should face their fears and do it. And so that's what I told myself. Being a non-traditional student has been so rewarding, and I'm just so happy that I didn't let any fears about my age hold me back from starting college. And if anything, learning something new and being in all these new environments has really made me feel like I'm keeping my brain really active and on point. I actually feel more youthful now than when I started, so go figure. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you do feel a little bit more empowered to start something new no matter how old you are. And if you have any questions or you want to share your story about being a non-traditional student, I would love that. Please let's connect in the comments. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe, because I have a lot more fun things and informative stuff that I want to share. Good luck on your educational journey, and thank you so much for watching.